Good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News. I am Yahani Veerasinghe, bringing you your headlines first.
The President emphasizes that the era in which all communities had been deprived of their motherland is over. CID probes the wads of currency notes found in Shah Silva's bank account. Munaragal district leader Ranjit Madhuma Bandar accuses the UNP of stripping off from all positions. CNN names Malini Fonseca among Asia's greatest 25. And in news overseas, at least 63 perish in a stampede in India. All dead are identified as women and children.
And now the news in detail. Local stories first. The era in which all Sri Lankans confronted the danger of being deprived of their motherland has now come to an end. President Rajapaksa underscored in Galle that this is the era in which the lost heritage was being restored.
මේ උරුමයන් පිළිබඳව අපි ඈත් වෙන්න පටන් ගත්තේ ඉතිහාසය අපෙන් ඈත් වුණු දවසේ කියලායි මම විශ්වාස කරන්නේ.
The president said that there is nothing wrong in saying that the civilians had lost their heritages. The values of the nation started eroding from the day certain persons started forgetting the history of the motherland and began valuing foreign ideas and resources. This happened since history was scrapped from the school curricula. Since then, the nation considered valued foreign goods. The best way to protect the country is to impart to the future generations knowledge on history of the native land. A good history could be built if a better era is being built. Therefore, everyone should be geared to achieve this goal. The president opined that they could be proud that on one side they had achieved this task. The president was speaking at the inauguration of the newly established and only marine archaeological museum in Galle today. The government of the Netherlands provided 116 million rupees for this project. A palatial two-storied building of the Dutch era houses the museum. The massive building within the historic rampart of Galle has been renovated. Speaking further, the president said, a gallant and valiant era has created. This period will go down in history as the country's golden era. The acting ambassador of the Netherlands in Sri Lanka, Minister Mahindayapa Abeyewardena and Southern Province Governor Kumari Balasurya and Chief Minister Shan Vijayalal De Silva were present on this occasion.
The Parliamentary Secretary General has said that the dissolved Parliament has been summoned by the President. He said the Parliament has been summoned by the President for Tuesday the 9th to communicate to the House that he has declared a state of emergency according to the powers vested in him under the Constitution and to get its nod for the resolution under the Public Security Ordinance. The Parliamentary Secretary General in a special statement has requested all members of Parliament of the 6th Parliament to be present at the sittings scheduled for Tuesday at 9 a.m. Investigations are underway into a wad of money deposited in a bank account of Seneka Silva alias Shah Silva, who was serving as the coordinating secretary of Sarath Fonseca. Shah Silva, an aide of Sarath Fonseca during the presidential election campaign, has been arrested for plotting to assassinate the president. The Criminal Investigations Department has unearthed information on money which has been deposited in an account of the suspect on the day of the presidential poll. A famous Sri Lankan businessman who is in Singapore at present had deposited a sum of 10 million rupees in the account of the suspect. CID investigations are afoot to determine the purpose of depositing this money. According to several web articles, suspected Shaw Silva, who was the campaign manager for Fonseca, was to be appointed as the Secretary of Defense in case Fonseca won the election. The suspect is also wanted by the Belgian government over a money scam. Meanwhile, computer data related to the controversial High Corp transactions will be sent to the Colombo University for examination. The CID made submissions to the Colombo Magistrates Court in this respect. The computer data was detected following a statement made by the director of High Corp company, Wellington Deho. The CID, who found the computer data from an office in Bambalapitiya, informed the court that further investigations could be conducted after the analytical report of computer specialists is received. Hoy is in remand custody for the past 2 months. Meanwhile, the CID is still carrying out investigations for the apprehension of Dharana Tilakaratne, son-in-law of Sarath Fonseca, who is wanted by the police over the High Corp transaction. An arrest warrant has already been issued by the court. Still on local news, a preliminary army inquiry in the case against Sarath Fonseca has entered the final phase. This was revealed by military spokesperson Major General Prasad Samarasinha.
Survey of evidence proceedings of retired General Sarath Fonseca has been now in the final stages. There are 31 people those who have given evidence, including the army personnel, as army officers and army personnel, and as well as the civilians. At the moment, the technical evidence is also being gathered, and now it's in the final stages. After that, it will be handed over to the Commander of the Army. Court-martial proceedings will start thereafter.
It is reported that the UNP group leader of the Moraragala district, Ranjit Madduma Bandara, has been removed from the party. Giving views on his removal, Ranjit Madduma Bandara said he was aware of the conspiracies that were being hatched against him. He was removed from the party on staging a disciplinary inquiry. The party members of Moraragala are still with him. He stressed that he will be contesting the forthcoming general election under the elephant symbol as an opposition leader. He was confident of being elected to parliament. Still on local news, the UPFA Gampaha district group leader Basil Rajapaksa says the district will transform into an area where the people will be able to reap benefits of all facilities. A program to make the people aware of this effort commenced at the Uppalavarana Sri Vishnu Devalaya in Kalaniya under Basil Rajapaksa's patronage. He declared open the newly developed Sudarshan Ramamavata in Himatuvalgutta at a cost of 13.3 million rupees. Speaking on the occasion, Minister Mervyn Silva said the massive project aiming to upgrade north and east as well as areas in the southern province including Gampaha is now in progress. Meanwhile, a rally was held in Wattala under the patronage of Basil Rajapaksa. Freedom Alliance candidate for the Gampaha district, Neil Rupasinghe, organised the meeting. A massive crowd participated. Minister Professor G.L. Peiris says the government is planning to upgrade economy after the general election. He said legal changes required for the development program will be initiated from the new parliament that will meet on the 22nd of April. He made these observations at a cabinet briefing. Furthermore, he said that the cabinet has approved the granting of a bonus interest of 20% for account holders of over 60 years.
Sir presented this proposal yesterday. It will entail enormous benefit to persons above 60 years of age who will receive as interest on their rupee deposits maintained in licensed banks a 20% bonus interest. That is, over and above the interest they normally get, they will get 20%, subject to a ceiling of 120,000 rupees per year per person. This will come into effect from the 1st of January 2010. Yeah, any license. Now,
the government has decided to formulate a national policy on health. Speaking at the cabinet briefing, Minister Professor G.L. Peiris said cabinet nod has been granted for this proposal of Minister Nima Siripala de Silva.
The government has decided to increase the benefits received by local contractors from development projects mooted by